Over to the United Kingdom now. Boris Johnson is in trouble once again. A much-awaited report into his lockdown parties is finally out. It squarely blames the British Prime Minister. The report says there were at least 16 such events during the pandemic lockdowns. The specifics are damaging. Johnson's staff got drunk, they brawled, and they abused the cleaners at 10 Downing Street. The opposition is demanding Boris Johnson's resignation once again. But will he step down? Our next report discusses the political fallout.
June 2020. Great Britain was under a lockdown. But inside Downing Street, a party was going on. The occasion was Boris Johnson's birthday. Here is the Prime Minister himself raising a can of beer to his staff. The party went on until the early hours of the morning. Johnson's drunk staff was vomiting and fighting with each other. The walls of Downing Street were stained with red wine. These damaging details were revealed by Sue Gray, a British civil servant who was investigating the lockdown parties. Her report is finally out. Throughout this summer, the shadow of these parties has chased Boris Johnson. The initial details were first leaked in the British press. Johnson was fined for some of the infractions. He apologized too. But the conclusions of the Sue Gray report puts Johnson back in the dock. In her report, she writes, the senior leadership must bear responsibility for the lockdown breaches. According to Sue Gray, there is no excuse for some of the behavior. Johnson tried to contain the damage in Parliament.
I want to begin today by renewing my apology to the House, to the whole country, for the short lunchtime gathering on the 19th of June 2020 in the Cabinet Room, during which I stood at my place at the Cabinet table and for which I received a fixed penalty notice. And I also want to say, Mr. Speaker, above all, that I take full responsibility for everything that took place on my watch.
Johnson's rivals want more than an apology. They want him to step down. His statement in Parliament faced a harsh reception.
The Prime Minister was engaging in drinking and debauchery that makes a mockery of the gut-wrenching sacrifices that each and every person made. Will the Prime Minister now take the opportunity and resign?
How on earth does he sleep at night with so much blood on his filthy, privileged hands?
The British Prime Minister seems to be losing public support too. An opinion poll has come out. 65% of the Britons say Johnson should resign. People of the streets of London hold the same view.
To be honest, I don't think Boris Johnson could ever be humbled by anything. I just think he's too arrogant and he thinks he's above everybody else.
I believe that the people running the country currently aren't suitable to do the job, especially Boris Johnson.
I'm not convinced Boris Johnson will ever learn his lesson, if I'm being honest. And that's just...
No, absolutely agree. I think it's a complete slap in the face of the whole public.
Once again, Johnson has refused to pay heed to these demands. He says he will not quit. The British Prime Minister is determined to ride out the crisis. It remains to be seen if other Conservative Party MPs will still back a Prime Minister that is rapidly losing public support.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.